welcome to Secret Garden Tarot. If this is your first time here, welcome. Everyone is always welcome. If this is not your first time here, we will be continuing the Tarot 101 series. That was last week's video. And I will be going into the minor arcana today. The major arcana will be getting their own video. They warrant that. Today is just an overview of the 4 suits, and there are 4 of them. The major difference that you will notice between the major arcana and the minor arcana is that the major arcana starts with 0. So numerically that is significant, whereas the suits all start with the ace, which is 1. And you can tell the number of the card by the number on here. So the ace will be 1, 2 will be 2 cups. The same goes for pentacles, swords, and wands. And each of these suits has a different name depending on the type of deck that you will be using. I will be using the traditional Rider-Waite for this series. So we will start with the pentacles, also known as coins or discs. These represent material things. They represent wealth, stability, and possession. They are representative of the earth signs of the zodiac, which are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The coins, we're going to start with the 2 most recognizable of the suits. So the coins are the big round discs, often called discs. They represent solid foundations. They represent financial stability. They can present themselves when you're discussing physical structures, homes, and businesses. They can also represent ways to make coins, so they can represent jobs and employment. You can physically stack up coins, and I actually have some here from my little box of trinkets. So you can take money and physically stack it up. It is also solid. If I were to stack all of these coins up, they're very, very hard. And if I were to glue them together, they'd be even stronger. So that's kind of how I see them. They are foundational. They can represent, in a reading, tangible things. All right. So the next suit we're going to talk about, and each of these suits will get their own video in depth. The next one will be the suit of swords, also known as blades, but again, they are listed as swords in the Rider-Waite, so that's what we're going to go with. They represent thought process, education, logic, and commitment. They are associated with the air signs of the zodiac, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. These swords can represent detached intellectualism. If you've watched any of my other videos, you have heard me describe swords as cutting through clouded thought. Swords can help you see a situation, no matter how emotionally entangling, in an objective way. Swords, as a suit, often depict unsavory behavior. It is difficult to get and give a sword-heavy reading. This is information, while needed, is not often not what the recipient wants to hear. So this is, has there been deception? Are you fooling yourself? Is it time for you to cut your losses and leave the situation? All of these questions and answers can fall within the suit of swords. Just like cutting a rope, with the right tools, you can set yourself free. So again, these are tools of intellectualism. These can, and if you've actually ever watched any of my videos, you've heard me describe these as sharp, particularly these two cards here. These can represent rather sharp-tongued individuals. Lesser so, but it is about, having the information, albeit in a lot of ways a very blunt presentation, but this is the information that you need, and these are primarily the two people that will give it to you. If you need an honest answer, you are going to be looking for the King or Queen of Swords, in particular the female energy. She can be very, very, not necessarily unkind, but unsympathetic is maybe the best way to explain her. She is not a sugar-coating kind of mama. And neither is he. Male versus female energy. So these are not the people that you're looking to if you want a sugar-coated answer, a soft answer. These aren't the huggers of the zodiac. These can often represent very logical, fact-based enterprises, scholarly enterprises, physicians, medicines, legal issues. So that is who gravitates towards these couple of suits, or at least the energy they represent. The next suit that we are going to get a quick view of is the suit of cups, sometimes called the suit of chalices, but again, this is the Rider-Waite, and they call them cups, so that's what we're going to go with. Cups represent emotion, relationships, and how people relate to each other. Many readers will see cups and say romance is on the horizon. And while in some cases this can be true, this is a suit that is all about all kinds of relationships. Our relationships with partners, friends, ourselves, our past, and our futures. In addition, it is a suit that can, as we move through the ace to the king, can deal with and control of one's emotions. While the suit of coins is solid and sturdy, the cups are fluid. You can be in a good mood 1 minute, in a bad mood the next. The cups represent the zodiac sign of Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So if you've ever known any of the people within any of those three zodiac signs, they can often be described as moody, or in the case of Cancers, a little bit crabby, hard shell, hard on the outside, soft and squishy on the inside. So that is what this is. Also, the cups are the only suit that has a sense of depth. These illustrations depict the cups ranging from empty to overflowing. As you can see, this is the Ace of Cups. It is full, overly full of emotion. It's often referred to as the Holy Grail. This is the new start, the new emotional start. And a lot of people will see this in a reading and go, oh, love is on the horizon and everything's going to be Disney princess. It can be. However, it is something that is just chock full of emotion. It can be something good or bad. These are indicators, these are energies. So yes, we can go from chock full of emotion to, less so. And while some of the cups are full, some are nearly empty. So this is about, you'll see the Five of Cups. Those three that are on the ground are completely empty. So it is, a cup can represent a sense of depth of emotion. And that is something that the other three suits really don't depict. Last but not least, we have wands. Sometimes these are called staves, sometimes these are called clubs. Represent fire, the fire elements, which makes sense because wood burns. They represent enthusiasm and optimism, the zodiac signs, which are the fire signs, the only four that are left: Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. They can represent impulsiveness, thoughtlessness. They can also represent warm personalities and people with either auburny hair, reddish brown hair to redheads. The suit is indicative of passionate creativity, but it is not without hard work. Sticks and staffs can be very heavy. An interesting modern take on these are, and I dropped them all, or else I'd show you, the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands. Now this is fast influx of information, all that information coming right directly at your head. Well, in say the last 15 or 20 years, this is a card that has come to indicate electronic communication, email, text messaging, and more recently social media. This indicates that while the tarot is centuries old, it is still relevant and vibrant and adaptable. Like the suit of wands itself, if someone breaks your club in half, now you have two clubs. So it's adaptable. It is creative. It is that creative energy. All right, so I will go into each of these suits in depth. I'll take you from ace to king in the next upcoming videos. Thank you. I'll see you next week. Bye, family.